G'day and welcome to another video. In today's video I'm going to show you how to fix some crochet that's broken or it's fallen apart somehow. This is a friend's blanket that she's got and she's asked me to fix it. Some of them are a lot worse, but in this case it's just some yarn that's broken and loops have come undone. So let's get started on the lesson. Some tools that we are going to need is a pair of scissors, a yarn needle. This is great, it's got a large eye and then it's got the curved end, but any yarn needle will do. And then some yarn that you're going to use to fix it. This is just a scrap piece that I've got here. As you can see, it's not very long. And it's got to be as close as the colour as what you're going to fix. And that's a pretty good match, even though this is completely different yarn. And of course every mistake is going to be different, but I just wanted to show you what I was going to do because I thought maybe it could help someone one day if they have the same sort of problem. First of all, we wanted to identify the problem and figure out why the loops came undone. So generally it will be the row that you've crocheted into or around, that yarn's broken. And you can see here that I'm pretty sure there was a lot of chains going between the petals of these flowers. You can kind of see it under here. See a bunch of chains. So from here to there was a heap of chains, and what I did was I started fixing this the other night and I thought, I should just film it. So you can see I've tied off the chain there and on this end, so that won't come undone now because it's been tied off. And we want to grab hold of the maroony or the reddy coloured yarn. We're going to stitch through that first, so we can just grab hold of that and turn this around. And then I'm just get back in there. And I'm just going to pick up the loops as I go around. You've got 2 loops per stitch. And it's not going to look perfect like it was when you made it, or someone else made it, but it's going to help keep the blanket from unraveling. So once I've got all those loops, I'm going to go on this side and I'm just going to grab hold of that and put my my needle through some yarn. Just give it a gentle tug to make sure it's not going to come undone. Just pull that through. And I'm going to go back the other way now, but I'm going to skip the very first loop, go into the second loop, go all the way through, and go through that red yarn again. Just sort of pull it so it goes back into shape. You are going to have to sew those ready bits in. But now, I was just trying to make sure the tail was a bit shorter, but that's not going to work. That's okay. I'm just going to tie that off. And we've now captured all the stitches that were coming undone. I'm going to just trim that off, just to make it easier to work with. Put my yarn tails through. And now I'm going to sew in my ends, and this is just like normal. There we go. I'm just going to sew my ends in as I normally would, just into this green section here. When I looked at the damage, it looked like it had just broken. I don't think it was sort of operator error where someone's not tied off their ends properly or something like that. I think it had just broken. This blanket's had good use, so I'd say it is a few years old. And I want to see if we can poke these ends in. Now that one's long enough that I can actually thread that on my needle. Actually, we can sew that in on the back. It's not going to be perfect because you're fixing a damage. Look, there's another end that the other person hasn't sewn in properly. That's why. Look how short they are. It's started there. Always leave. There's another one that needs to be sewn in. Always leave. What was I looking for? Red. Was I? Is it? There it is. You can't see it, but it's still poking through the other side. Let me just get it to the front, or the back. There we go. I can go this way. Poke that in there. And pull that through. That should be okay. Like it's, yes, it's sticking out, but my OCD is going to make me sew that in. And after that, it didn't even go in. I know there's more damage somewhere, so I've just got to find it. I just found the other damage, and it looks like I've already fixed it. I've had this blanket for a couple of months now. Feeling really guilty, so I'm going to go drop it off after I finish this tutorial. It should have been fixed ages ago, but it's been through summer, so it hasn't really been needed. You can see again here these cream, where's my needle? These cream stitches, these ones, had all come loose. Don't know how they all come loose. No, tell a lie. It wasn't the cream stitches that came loose. It was this brownie coloured yarn here, and these three stitches had broken. So what I did was, so this would have been a double crochet. I joined my yarn to the top of this stitch, and then I double crocheted in the next 3 stitches. But at the same time, I picked up the loops from here. So I did join my yarn, double crochet in this stitch, and then slip stitched through these 2 loops of that one. Then I double crocheted in the next stitch, picked up these 2 loops, and I put my crochet hook through, and I slip stitched the yarn back. Let me see if I can kind of demonstrate that. I think this hook's too big maybe. Yeah, I went through those 2 loops, grabbed my yarn, pulled it back through, and then double crocheted into the next stitch. I'm going to have to pretend there's a double crochet done now. And then go up to the next one, grab the 2 loops that will be hanging loose, and did a slip stitch, and then double crocheted. I think I may have done all the stitches, but then I double crocheted into that stitch and then slip stitched all the loops. And then it looks like I've just wove my ends in, and yeah, it doesn't look pretty. It's completely the wrong colour, but that in my stash, that was the closest colour I had to that. Yeah, I thought I'd left that damage to do for videos, but I must have fixed it and then thought, oh, I should be showing this on video. So I hope you enjoyed that little lesson. Hope you learned a little bit, and hopefully it won't come in handy because nothing will fall apart, but we all know that's probably not the case, and we will need to fix something. It could have got, this one looked like it had actually broken, like got caught on something and got snagged rather than the stitches coming undone, because it's a very strange spot for crochet to actually come undone. So I'd say it's just broken over time, or it got snagged on something. And for anybody wondering what the whole blanket looks like, here it is. It is a square blanket, and it's got crochet around the edging. Of course it has, it's a crochet blanket. A couple of edging borders and a tassel. I do not know what this pattern is, but if anyone knows, please leave. I just realised this looks a lot like the layla flower I did. I don't know if it's quite exactly the same, but I'll definitely leave a link, and it's going to pop up on your screen just here, on how to make this flower. The first round is granny squares, or granny squares, like a granny square, which I'm pretty sure I did in my video tutorial. I made it years ago. But then the next round is just adding a solid granny square and then they've just crocheted the squares together. Looks really pretty. Using up lots of colours. You can see the one that I fixed just there. It's gorgeous. So I hope my friend likes her repair. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're having a great week. Until next time, happy crocheting.